This message is brought to you by Deadpool.
I'd also like to thank FX and Disney for their support, and in exchange, Mr. Lively promises to not up my next movie.
Welcome back, everyone. Maximum Effort. Deadpool and Wolverine are here, and they're bringing the X-Men with them. We've got a really big Deadpool 3 trailer starting off this year, and even though it's cool we're getting all of these X-Men cameo scenes, Deadpool isn't just bringing back a bunch of these classic X-Men mutants for cameo scenes or funny jokes or one-offs or like 2-second blink and you'll miss it scenes like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Marvel's using Deadpool 3 to set up much bigger things, and it's more about Deadpool and Wolverine saving the X-Men than just bringing them back to kill them off, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Now that we've started getting Deadpool 3 trailers, there'll be a bunch more footage coming. It's the only movie that Marvel is releasing this year. That's how confident they are in it, in how much importance they're putting in it, what they're using it to set up. Of course, I will do videos for whatever they wind up releasing, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. My much bigger Deadpool 3 trailer video should be up on my channel soon if it isn't already. But during Deadpool 3, Deadpool is meant to begin the movie after the events of Deadpool 2 when he had been traveling around the timelines, the multiverse, messing with Cable's time travel device. As he said, just cleaning up the timelines, getting rid of the stuff that he didn't like. There's been a bit of a time jump since then, and Deadpool is supposed to have given up on being a superhero and gotten a day job just to pay the bills. And it plays into one of the reasons why he's saving all the X-Men, the other Fox Marvel characters in the movie. They're clowning on the fact that the Fox Marvel brand, the 20th Century Fox just in general, is defunct now that Disney bought Fox. And Kevin Feige is going to reboot the X-Men, the Fantastic Four. Like, we've been talking about the new Fantastic Four cast for like the past year. They already rebooted Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I've been doing Daredevil Born Again videos for like the past couple of days. We've gotten so much footage. I cannot wait to see Charlie Cox kicking butt. It's going to be so good. Eventually, they're going to reboot Ghost Rider. If you remember, those movies actually did happen at Fox. Basically, all the Fox Marvel characters eventually going to show up again with new versions of the characters. In Deadpool 3, just in general, is clowning on the fact that Deadpool himself doesn't feel like he's needed anymore because of all this, like breaking the fourth wall Deadpool style, like I'm gonna be recast, so I better get a regular job to pay the bills because they don't need me to be a superhero anymore. This is where the TVA from the MCU gets involved from the Loki series, connecting the Fox Marvel universe where Deadpool is from with the wider MCU multiverse, effectively canonizing it the same way they did with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies when they appeared in Spider-Man No Way Home. Just the TVA characters crossing paths with Deadpool from his Fox Marvel universe on screen is enough to do that. As you would expect, the TVA is after him because he was messing with Cable's time travel device, causing all kinds of Nexus events, killing the bad version of himself from Wolverine Origins, killing baby Hitler, killing Ryan Reynolds before he could make the Green Lantern movie in this universe, which was also before he made the first Deadpool movie, meaning in that universe there was either a totally different Deadpool, maybe they'll clown on that, or the Deadpool movie never got made at all. Generally arresting him for causing so much mayhem, because even though Loki has become God Loki, he's managing all the timelines in a higher dimension right now with the World Tree here, all the other TVA hunters are still active and doing what they would normally be doing, like Miss Minutes is now on the case again, helping them manage the TVA. The only minor change that they made is that they had started specifically targeting variants of He Who Remains, basically going after the Kang variants, but that was in addition to their normal orders, not in replace of them. So there's still other bad variants out there causing problems they arrest on the regular. Deadpool winds up learning about everything the TVA is doing, like the wider multiverse just in general. He starts learning about the incursions, everything that's happening around the multiverse, and the fact that there are infinite numbers of Wolverines and other X-Men out there. Something happens and he's driven to seek out the best version of Wolverine that he can find, which winds up being this alternate version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the yellow comic book accurate suit. He's meant to be from a different universe from that Fox Marvel universe, so they don't mess with the timeline of the Fox Marvel movies or like the future of the Logan movie. That was a big deal when they announced that Hugh Jackman had joined the movie. Like, we're not going to be messing with that timeline. It'll be from an alternate timeline. That version of Wolverine and Deadpool eventually get pruned, sent to the Void Planet, which is where they are here. You can actually see in the background a lot of their fights. They have the wreckage of the 20th Century Fox logo. That's another joke callback to the Fox Marvel brand being defunct in present day under Disney. Like, this isn't needed anymore, off to the Void Planet, waiting to be consumed by Alioth. And yes, Alioth does still exist there on the Void Planet. We get a real quick flash of him at the end of Loki Season 2. Deadpool 3 is meant to take place after the events of Loki Season 2. On the Void Planet, Deadpool and Wolverine find out that many of the X-Men, Fantastic Four, other Fox Marvel characters like Elektra, for instance, from that Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, have been pruned and wound up there and are trying to survive in the wasteland, not getting eaten by Goliath and not being killed by other variants. We saw that gang of Lokis during Loki Season 1. It's kind of the same situation, but with roving Mad Max-style gangs of X-Men, Fantastic Four, other Fox Marvel movie characters banding together to survive. Basically a Mad Max movie, but with Marvel characters. I did a whole separate video for all the footage that we got of them. All their cars, the weapons are from other Marvel movies, so it's like Easter Egg City, just like throwing everything into an Easter egg soup. Deadpool and Wolverine find out about the incursions, the multiverse beginning to collapse on itself faster and faster. The rate of incursions is increasing, and it means the destruction of all reality, just like comic book Secret Wars. They try to find a way to survive that, and for everyone else to survive too, and it turns out the TVA are effectively saving the X-Men, Fantastic Four, other Fox Marvel characters, mutants just in general, by pruning them and putting them on the Void Planet to begin with because of the way the planet exists in space and time. If it wasn't clear in the earlier seasons of Loki, the Void Planet is meant to be the only planet in existence at the very end of time. The only other structure that's still standing was He Who Remains Citadel. It was literally called the Citadel at the end of time. The only minor change to this at the end of Loki Season 2 is that the Void Planet still exists there at the end of time all by itself, but God Loki has reformed the pieces of He Who Remains Citadel into his golden kintsugi-style throne. Kintsugi just means golden joinery, essentially. Taking something that's broken and reforming it, making it better using this golden joinery technique. It's meant to be a metaphor for Loki's existence just in general, like he is a broken person but reforms himself in a much better way. He kind of just did the same thing with the multiverse, like the multiverse was dying, it was broken, and he reformed it. One of the reasons why the Loki series is probably one of the best things that Marvel has done the last couple years. But the actual rock where the throne is still in the same place relatively, but it is in a higher dimension, which is why Deadpool couldn't just hop on a ship and fly to Loki's throne, even though I'm sure people would love to see that. Loki would have to specifically open up a portal allowing Deadpool to see him. But on the Void Planet, being so far removed from all the rest of space and time, essentially the Void is the last bastion of existence in the multiverse. And that's why it serves as sort of the MCU version of Battleworld. In the comics, Battleworld was created by God Emperor Doom using the powers of the Beyonders to combine all the remnants of the last remaining universes, saving a handful of characters from each of those universes. In the MCU, it's almost the exact same concept, but with the TVA and all the different time travel, the variants being dumped there. So effectively, they're saving all these X-Men, the other characters too, because the universes that they came from, where they were originally variants, have all been destroyed or are being destroyed by the incursions. This plays into the idea that they're being erased, quote-unquote, by the Fox Disney buyout, like a meta joke in real life, but also within the MCU context, like the story-based reason for saving the X-Men, these other characters, is bringing them back for Avengers Secret Wars. Deadpool 3 is supposed to end setting up Secret Wars specifically. They're also kind of using the movie to test out audience response to the classic X-Men coming back in a bigger way, like a better version of what we got in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, like what we thought we were going to get when we heard about all of these characters coming back. And if the response is good enough, more of those X-Men will come back again during Secret Wars, but if people don't care so much or like the response is mid, only a couple of them will come back. Marvel kind of does that in real life with each of their movies, like, oh, did people love this part of this movie? Okay, we'll do a little bit more of that in some of our future movies. Or if people really hated something, they'll back off of that idea in future films. Right now, the ones that we've heard about coming back again in Secret Wars are Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, of course. He's guaranteed to come back no matter what, for the most part. Patrick Stewart's Professor X, Ian McKellen's Magneto, Halle Berry's Storm, Famke's Jean Grey and Phoenix, maybe Cyclops, and maybe a few others. Like, that's obviously just the real big ones. This doesn't really address any of Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield coming back as their versions of Spider-Man because we're just talking about Fox Marvel stuff and their Sony Marvel. Those characters will also come back in Secret Wars, but this is more of an X-Men kind of video. But Deadpool 3 is meant to be the beginning of the end of this entire multiverse saga of movies since Marvel Phase 4, giving those classic X-Men Fox Marvel actors their own version of Avengers Endgame in Secret Wars. So Secret Wars is meant to be kind of like Fox Marvel Endgame, but in a much bigger sense, because you'll have MCU characters in there, you'll have Sony Spider-Man characters like Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, just all kind of thrown in together. A much bigger version of that final battle scene in Avengers Endgame. But for those of you that have gotten kind of tired with the whole multiverse trope, Deadpool 3 is meant to be sort of the beginning of the end of that, but not the absolute end. That will be Secret Wars. But remember, Deadpool is essentially saving the X-Men to kill some of them off in more epic ways later on, and generally just saving all of them from being erased, eaten by Goliath in a meta sense. My early theory right now, too, is that after Secret Wars, when they fix the multiverse, like they'll reform things, they'll use it for their soft reboot of the MCU, but they'll also say that they're repairing the original Fox Marvel universe, like the Sony Spider-Man universes. So like all those classic versions of the characters will go back to their original universes, and they'll be like toys in the toy bin that Kevin Feige could always pull out if he wants to in some future year. Like they're all still alive out there somewhere in the multiverse, even though they're not going to be leaning as heavily on multiverse tropes after Secret Wars. Let me know in the comments though, Deadpool is saving a bunch of the X-Men characters in Deadpool 3. Which versions do you want him to save and come back again during Secret Wars? And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of think pieces published about this after the movie actually comes out, but generally you could also say in real life, Deadpool 3 kind of saving the Marvel Universe from itself by kind of burning things to the ground. Like save it by kind of killing the Marvel Universe, starting the process of them rebooting things and just sort of fixing everything behind the scenes so that generally like the next 10 years of Marvel after Secret Wars is as healthy as it can be. Like a farmer burning his fields to enrich the soil so that something even better will grow in its place. Because of the Super Bowl, there'll be a bunch of different trailers. I'll try to do videos for everything. Click here for my new Deadpool 3 trailer video. I'll update the link as soon as I post that. And click here for all my other Super Bowl trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one in maximum effort.